I'd like to show you a case result that I think illustrates modern orthodontics when we're considering sort of a full face and also sometimes the simplicity of a treatment or the diagnosis. So I'm going to show you the upper teeth first. If you notice, here is how the patient started. We don't have to look at this yet, but this is the end result right over here. Teeth are almost perfectly straight, but let's focus on this. We see, I call this a V-shaped arch. It's narrow. And if you count your teeth, you'll see that we have both first molars. They are both rotated inward. We have both premolars, but then we don't have room for a canine here and certainly no room for a canine here. Now, there are two modalities that I believe are overused and becoming a little bit old-fashioned and are overprescribed, still needed in certain cases, but not in this one. And what I'm referring to, first of all, is a palate expander. This patient had been told they needed a palate expander. But what I look at is the width between the molars. That is actually not very narrow, and the patient did not have any kind of crossbite. Now, the palate expander is a device that creates more room in the mouth, but that doesn't mean that one size fits all. I knew that I could rotate these teeth simply with braces. I know this isn't Invisalign software, but I used braces in this case to rotate the molars. And also, this would serve as a fulcrum to allow a dental broadening of the arch. This patient did not have a skeletally narrow maxilla. They had a crowded mouth, and a lot of times people just automatically think palate expander is for crowded mouth. Palate expander makes room. No, the palate expander gives a skeletal expansion of the maxillary arch when it is needed, and I didn't think it was needed in this case. So we used braces only to broaden out the arc. I used coil springs. I got the patient to this point, and now I'm actually using aligners to make those final last little changes, and the braces are now off. And then in the other appliance that is used, I think this patient had been told they needed some sort of night brace to push the molars back. But what I did is I expanded the upper arch, the dental expansion. Then that created overjet, and the patient wore elastics to bring the lower jaw forward into the perfect class 1 that you see over here. So this is what gives you a full face. We don't focus anymore on pushing upper teeth in. They were already upright to start. Look at the angulation. You don't need a cephalograph. When you have imagery like this, you can see the inward leaning of the retroclination. Now you can see how the arch is broadened out nicely with only using braces, non-extraction, no expansion, no headgear.